So the final agreement with Council, between Parliament and Council, was adopted today with 500 votes in favour, 120 against and 32 abstentions. So we have with us the two co-rapporteurs, Inese Vaidere, rapporteur for the International Trade Committee, and Ville Niinistö, rapporteur for the Industry, Research and Energy Committee. We'll start with Mrs. Vaidere. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the first hand this time, and thank you all for taking the time and being here. Today's historical vote sends a very clear message. Europe is ending its dependency on Russian gas once and for all. This is not just an energy or trade file, it's a security, policy and moral decision. The dependency on Russian gas never made us safe. It made us vulnerable. Today's vote is a turning point in EU energy policy. Turning point in EU energy policy. This regulation builds on the REPower EU roadmap and sets out concrete steps to phase out Russian gas, both pipeline and LNG. The European Parliament succeeded to deliver earlier phase-out deadlines for Russian gas than the Commission originally proposed. It's a pity that some member states, even after Russia launched a full-scale war on their doorstep, did not take the right moral decision to stop funding the aggressor. But at the same time, the direction is final. It's not a sanctions regime that needs to be renewed every 6 months. No, it's a legislation that will last for decades to come. We also secured a special provision on harmonized penalties. Strong penalties are important to make sure that companies will not want to take risks and try to falsify documents. And we also tightened safeguards to prevent circumvention, including potentially shadow fleets for gas. Russian gas must not return to Europe also through illegal ways.
Can you be more specific on countries that were a bit kind of reluctant to implement them?
Well, maybe I can help you with that. But I don't think you can ask the member states themselves. But I can say that there were different groups of member states. So there was especially these two, Hungary and Slovakia, which are publicly well known, who use still a lot of Russian gas and have also a political hesitancy of getting away from it, but also a worry about how they do it in a sustainable manner for their citizens. So there we have all of those issues. Then we have countries in southeastern Europe who were worried about sources and prices. And then we have some countries in Western Europe that still have high LNG levels of imports that needed to feel certain that they can exit that dependency. And I think they were more worried in the early stages of the proposal, but since there was already a sanctions measure against LNG put forward by the Commission during this legislative process, I think they kind of adjusted to understand that this is going to happen and it's no point opposing.
Yes, we were a little bit surprised that some big countries, we will not name them, suddenly they said they are against this deleting of suspension clause. We thought, why? But, we made it so strong that it's practically not possible to return to Russian gas. I cannot imagine on what circumstances it could be.
I mean, obviously, it's a compromise, the final legislation piece. So we can say Article 15, the suspension clause, we made it a bit stronger, or actually quite a lot stronger. But it's the Council who wanted to keep it there, and some big member states.
I was wondering if you could, Matt Heusch with Platts, offer any further comment on the threats from Hungary's foreign minister, who's recently said that they would take legal action against the measure once it's passed, arguing that this move to ban Russian gas and LNG imports really falls more under sanctions power that would require unanimous approval. How confident are you that this ban would stand legal scrutiny if Hungary does follow through on that threat to bring legal action?
First of all, my short comment that remember, please, that Hungary has elections next year in April or something, and they have to come up with very loud announcements how they will sue European Union and etc., etc. And I think our legislation is a very strong one and sound one. and strong legislation is a force majeure. And if it's force majeure, that it's very strong in all courts, processes, etc. So we are convinced that European Commission and member states will be protected on not grounded court processes.
Well, obviously they have a possibility to sue the proposal into or the law in the EU courts. But having worked with these issues for a long time, I mean, I did my master's thesis 22 years ago on Russian foreign policy and how they use energy as a tool of geopolitical pressure. So, I mean, this was known by those who worked in foreign policy and on energy policy, that Russia uses gas as a source of manipulation. Better deals for some, they expect them to do political favours, and worse deals for others, and even stopping of the trade for those that did political foreign policy actions that they didn't like. This is not trade. This is not WTO to act like that as when you export gas into other countries. So it's very clear that the legal basis here is trade, and it's a long-term commitment to exit trade with a country that consistently, for decades, has used sale of gas as a weapon geopolitically against our decision-making and trying to divide us. So, this is helping Ukraine. We are saying that as well, but that's actually not the rationale of this legislation. And I think it's well put in the legal text that this rationale holds, and it comes from the trade policy. So this is very clearly not a sanctions measure.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The $1 million question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.